Everybody, this is Gwyneth Isaac speaking. This video tonight is once more about the four horsemen of the apocalypse and the ISIS movement, okay, and the blood moons. I want to elaborate something further. I was watching Paul Begley's video, his inaugural YouTube live stream, podcast or whatever it is you call it, is I think it's called YouTube live stream, okay? His first one, and something that he mentioned was very interesting. He said that al-Baghdadi, who is the fellow that the Muslims have named their caliph, in other words, the 12th Imam, in other words, the Mahdi, which is sort of their version of Christ, which is more of an antichrist than a Christ, okay, that he is very fond of riding into cities that he conquers on a white stallion. And I heard that and I freaked. I just went, far out! A white stallion. Of course, the fellow only came to prominence after the first blood moon. And no one had ever heard of him before then, except for if you were in the, NSA or CIA or something, When I heard this, that he was fond of gallivanting about on a white stallion, I absolutely, I went bananas. I was just like, far out! Oh my God, help us! Because obviously, the rider on the white horse is not a physical being. He is, and his horse, are spirit beings. But when a spirit being goes into someone and takes them over, they take on the characteristics of that spirit being. And if that spirit being likes riding around on a white horse, then that person is going to seek out a white horse after that spirit being has taken them over them or possessed them or whatever it is you want to call it. So this fellow, he's as far as I'm concerned, he is the rider on the white horse. He's the first horseman of the apocalypse. He is absolutely brutal. His organisation, ISIS, is absolutely brutal. Paul Begley was also saying about how ISIS members have been driving around with AK-47s and basically hijacking cars at random and killing everybody inside. Completely at random, which is horrible, Like I say, it's completely in character for, let's just say, followers of the caliphate. If you look back in history, this is exactly the sort of thing that Khalifi's followers of the caliphate used to do. Now, if this... It's not, as far as I'm concerned, this is evidence enough for me to say that my theory on the four blood moons being the first four seals of the apocalypse, and the later triad of blood moons being the other three seals of the apocalypse, and then the last final blood moon at the end, the eighth blood moon, marking the end of the apocalypse. That's evidence enough for me. Now, you fellas out there, what you need to do is this. You need to realise that this is the most terrible time coming that has ever been on the face of the earth. I'm absolutely so serious about this. The next blood moon is, hang on, we've got a plate of pancakes over here and we've got the cat trying to flog my pancakes, so I'm just going to scare it off. Go on, puss, off you go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to stop the cat from eating the pancakes. Yeah, the next, after the next blood moon is going to be war. War like you have never seen in your life or has ever been on the earth. It's going to make World War II and World War I together look rather tame. That's how it's going to be really, really bad. And that is after October the 9th of this year. The third blood moon is famine. And food prices will go very, very high for staple foods. But luxury foods such as oil and wine, you will probably find have the same price that they always had, but they will also continue to be expensive because they're luxury foods. But staple foods will go extremely expensive. It will take a whole day's pay just to buy enough bread to feed yourself, never mind your kids or anything like that. And the fourth blood moon is death and hell following close behind. That is death from, people going crazy, death from wild animals, from disease, from all sorts of horrible, horrible ways to die. Guys, you really, really have to get your head around what's going to happen. At some stage, you're also going to have the mark of the beast introduced, which is the RFID chips that they're putting in dogs and cats and other animals. That is a slave mark of Satan, and if you get it, you're going to hell. Please, I love you guys all so much. Please do not get the mark of the beast. If you ask God to provide for you at that time, He will provide for you, but it will probably also cost you your earthly life to refuse the mark. It probably will cost you your earthly life to choose the mark. And especially if ISIS has anything to do with it. Because this conqueror who goes out to conquer, he is not the Antichrist. Because if he was, he would be Roman, and he's not. He's Babylonian, Iraqi, Chaldean, whatever. So the Antichrist is going to be somebody different, but this is going to be one of his chief sidekicks. And his favourite methods of execution are beheading and crucifixion. So both pretty nasty ways to die, but if I'd had a choice, I'd pick beheading. It's quicker, except if they forget to sharpen their swords. Then it's extremely painful and horrible. Yeah, that doesn't say what they're going to do to your body before or after they behead you either. This ISIS is going to come into a place of global prominence. They are going to, for 7 years, have a significant role to play in the world. But one place that they will not have a significant role to play is in Israel. That area will be firmly controlled by the Antichrist himself, whoever he is. Lisa Dennis Sparks seems to be of the opinion that he's the Pope. I would say maybe, but I would tend to believe that he's the false prophet and not the Pope. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, get the book of Revelation and read it. It's the last book in the Holy Bible. I would strongly recommend you all read it, because this is going to happen. It is happening. It is happening. You just had the first horseman of the apocalypse released upon the world, and over the next, however long until the fourth blood moon, the other three are going to show up too. These guys are not nice guys. They are going to go out, they are going to inhabit, they're going to be loosed on the earth, they are going to inhabit the bodies of mortal people, and they are going to do destruction. They are going to do destruction. And get your food stores up. Make sure that if you can get enough food to see you through 7 years, then good for you. And I would recommend that you do that. Otherwise, I would advise that you get a chicken pen, some goats, vegetables, whatever. Just, food that will keep producing itself. And start growing it now. Do not wait for the famine to start, or you will starve to death before your crops come to fruition. The time to start your crops is now, and then they will be growing and they will be producing food for you by the time the coprola hits the propeller. There we are. Anyway, probably getting quite close up to 15 minutes, so God bless you all, and I shall see you later.